What's up, everyone? It's Pizza Alex here to let you know that season 2 of Gripsport Latino is here on Instagram Live. Come hang out!
Welcome everyone to another episode of Gripsport Latino. Today we have another very special guest, Timmeh Livingston. Let me admit him into the meeting room.
Wait, can you see me now?
I can hear you but not see you yet.
Oh wait, let me try this.
There you are, I can see you.
Can you see me?
Welcome
Hello.
to Gripsport Latino. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
I'm really happy. I'm super happy to have you. And because this is going to be the last episode of season 2. So, what a great way to finish a season done with an interview with you, Timmeh.
Yes, I'm very excited.
I want to ask you first. Your name is Timothy, right?
Yes, that's my actual name.
And how should I pronounce the Timmeh ending with an H? It's like just Timmeh, or how should I?
Yeah, you can just say Timmy. I mean, I got the name from South Park. I mean, basically the same as the other Timmy, like
Okay.
Tim.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can just say Timmy, Tim, Timothy, whatever you want to call me.
Perfect. You know, I always remember your last name because there's a goalkeeper in the Chilean soccer team, like from the 60s, and they
Okay.
call him like if I were about to tell it in English, it would be like um the Livingston toad, like little
Yeah.
toad, the Livingston little toad, because he was little, but he could cover the whole like a goalkeeper, you know. And
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
he's Livingston as well. Oh, I'm super happy to have you here, Timmeh.
Thank you
Are,
so much.
are you right now in your gym?
Yes, I am.
Nice. Do you have a name for your home gym, Timmeh?
I don't really have a name for it. I probably should come up with a name for it.
In the something to think about, because it's a really great gym, and I know that many of the people in the community would love to, I mean, go to your gym. On it's you have a really good collection of implements, so
Thank
it's really nice to see your videos. I really enjoy it, and I remember when I started following you, you used to have like the grippers on a wall,
Yeah.
and it was like the very beginning. You have like your weight set. It has been growing over time.
Yeah.
Tell me,
So
how did you start it?
yeah, when I first started, I got some of the grippers from Iron Mind. I mean, it was just the basic ones, the 1.5, 2, 2.5, and a 3. I got a 1 inch, a 2 inch, a 3 inch pinch block. I got the Iron Mind hub, and then I ended up getting different plates for hub lifts after that. That was basically the start. Then the fat grips, I got the blue fat grips and the orange fat grip extremes. And then, I mean, just from there, it just started growing even more.
Yes, I think it's like the history of all of us. Like, you start buying something like, oh, I am just curious with this, and then you start adding another and another.
Yes, I'm
And
adding. I'm so addicted to it.
yeah, it happens. That thing should have a name. In example, in the guitar world, because I play the guitar, they have the concept like it's like you say it like gas
Yeah,
guitar addiction syndrome. We should have like the grip sport addiction syndrome or something like that,
yeah,
because you
I
always
completely.
want to buy more equipment.
Man, see, just as much as I am into grip, I'm into collecting all the implements and everything.
Yeah, Tim, to start with the interview, I want to have like a little personal introduction of yourself. Tell me, Tim, where are you from? Where are you living right now?
So I'm in the United States, in Ohio specifically, and I've lived here my whole life. I mean, Toledo, Ohio is exactly where I live. or right outside of Toledo, Ohio, and I lived here my whole life.
It's Ohio like a very well known, I mean, weightlifting state, like big
Yeah, I'd
into
say so.
powerlifting and things like that.
Yeah, Rogue is in Ohio too, so there's a lot of weightlifting things in Ohio.
Nice. So, how old are you, Tim?
I'm 25.
25, super young. I always forgot that you're younger than I think. I always tend to think like, oh, I am 30, so maybe they are around 30 as well, but not so much. Oh, you're super young, Tim. I
Well,
always forget that.
I think that sometimes I feel like I'm getting old already.
No,
But I
no.
mean, grip has a lot of longevity to it, so
Yes.
that's why I'm super happy to be into the sport in general. You know.
Yes. In groups for you can be like active until your 50s, as I can see,
Yes,
or
I'm
until
hoping
your 70s.
longer.
Yes. And Tim, what's your occupation? What do you do for a living? And tell me if it has like something to do with grip on, or if you have to use your grip strength for working.
So I'm a car detailer. It doesn't have a lot to do with grip, honestly. Uh, yeah, it's really not much to do with grip. I wish I had a job that had more to do with grip.
Yeah, well, some people I remember that speaking to other people, they say like, no, thankfully with Jerome Bloom, he told me, thankfully my job has nothing to do with grip, so I can be well rested for my
Yeah,
training.
you are right about that. I worked at UPS before. Are you familiar with the shipping company?
Of course, with all the shipping companies, since I am buying equipment from the US, so I know all of the. Yes.
When I worked there, I was a package handler, and we moved so many boxes every single day. Like my hands, they would cramp up like this, and I'd have to almost like undo them like this just to make them feel better. I mean, it was awful. I didn't stay there very long. It
I
was
understand.
affecting my grip. I mean, that's the main reason I left that job.
Sounds really heavy. Yeah, I used to work like at it was not a restaurant. It's kind of a McDonald's here in Chile, and I had to be standing like 10 or 12 hours a day. And our managers were like watching us to be standing and be like smiling to the customers.
Yeah.
Oh, super tiring jobs. They can be
Oh man.
tough at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tim, before grip sport, which sports did you practice?
So really, the only thing I was into before grip was just weightlifting in general, and I was weightlifting as young as when I was 12. I got a lot more serious with it when I was 14. I slowed down a little bit when I was 15, or no, when I was 16, 17, I slowed down a little bit. By the time I was 18 and then up, I've been very addicted to it ever since.
And did you play any sports in high school?
I did not.
So fully into bodybuilding and weightlifting.
Yeah, very into weightlifting when I was in high school.
And how did you learn? Did you Google how to work out, or did you have any friend? How did you learn like the basics?
My father was into weightlifting, and when I was really young, he tried getting me into it when I was about 10 or 11. I didn't really have any interest at that point, but he kind of convinced me when I was more about 12, and then that's how I got into it.
So these days you like program your own workouts, or did anyone have did you have any coach like on the way?
I never had a coach. As far as certain lifts go, I have wrote myself different programs, and normally it has helped out a lot. I mean, I've done a lot of research into programming and everything, so
Perfect. And let's go to the important stuff. How did you find out about Gripsport?
So the first time I found out about Gripsport, it was actually a video with Brian Shaw, and he
Yeah.
had these different challenges. The one was pinching two 45-pound plates together. The other one was hub lifting a 45-pound plate. I think there might have been one other one. I can't remember. And I thought it looked easy, and he was telling everyone to try it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I mean, it looks easy. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I tried doing it. I'm like, yeah, that's not easy. So I really wanted to hub lift the plate and pinch 245s together. So I started training towards those. That was like one of the big things I got into, and then obviously the grippers too.
Okay, and so after you saw that video, what was the first piece of equipment that you bought?
The first piece of equipment, I think it is the Iron Mind grippers. I'm pretty sure that's the first thing. I'm
And
not 100% sure, but that's what I think, if I remember correctly.
so which gripper could you close like the first time, the biggest you could close the first time?
I could close. I think it was about the 1.5 the first time.
Nice. And after grippers, did you jump into any pinch block or the hub? Which was
Yes.
your next step?
So actually, for a really short time before my Iron Mind hub that I bought, I made my own hub out of, I don't exactly remember what it was. It was something I got at Lowe's. It's like a store that just sells like everything, you know.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what it was called. It looked just like a hub. I think I still have it. I'm gonna grab it real quick and show you.
Okay.
I think it. So this is actually what I built right here. I just
So
put together real quick.
is
And
it
then
like plastic?
yeah, it's plastic.
Perfect.
So I used that for a while, and then I bought the Iron Mind hub after that.
And how where like which were your first lifts in the Ironman hub? What where how was your strength when you started?
I I think the first time I lifted on it, it was around 40 pounds, 44 pounds, so maybe around 20 kilograms or so.
Perfect. And Tim, after you bought your equipment, you were like into grip. Uh, how did you learn like how to progress? Did you follow any account on Instagram or did you do your
Yeah.
research online? How did you do it?
I did realize that there was a lot of people into grip. I followed a couple people, and then I went to the people they were following, and I found out that there was a huge community of people doing grip. Because I thought it was only a few people. I didn't know that there was as many as there is. And I was watching other people, but I mostly was training it like on the side, like after my main lifts. I would mess around with the Iron Mind hub, the grippers, the pinch blocks.
So since you mentioned like your main lifts, well, I've been following you since I don't know 5 or 6 years. I can't remember, maybe 2018. But
Yeah.
I remember that you are doing really good at bench press, or at least in my opinion.
Thank
So uh, you were like before grip, like really into powerlifting, right?
Yes, especially bench.
Bench is your favorite.
Yeah.
I think I saw on your stories that you could hit like 370, or it was
Yeah.
more like your PR.
My best for a touch and go was 375, and then I paused 350.
Nice. I remember actually that you went to a competition like during these years. I don't know if you have been into competitions again, like any
No,
bench meets.
I did one competition. The last one I did was in December 2019, and it was just a bench press your body weight for as many reps as possible.
How many could you get on that competition?
I either hit 50 or 51. I can't remember, but it was the first place at the competition.
Nice. 50. It's a lot. Yeah. And did you have any like are you okay like mixing heavy bench pressing with all the grip lifts?
Yes, definitely.
I find like I used to bench a lot, but then I stopped for a couple of years And now that I'm fully into grip, I try to go heavy on bench, and I think it affects my performance. It's like I am not used to have the bar, do my
Yeah.
bench, and then do the grip sport. It's like kind of I lost it.
Oh
I
no.
am not used to it anymore. I don't know.
If I mean, you just gotta keep practicing with it. I mean, is it causing you any bad pain or anything?
No, just fatigue. Just it's like an example. If I want to do like a session of grippers, uh, yeah, I think like I am going to rep like between the 3 and 3.5. Uh, and normally I warm up with heavy squats, and it helps me a lot. But if I do the same, like heavy bench press before the grippers go down.
Hmm.
It's like no, I'm not used to that. Maybe it's a CNS thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I know certain things do affect my bench. Grip doesn't affect it too much, but when I was messing around with some arm wrestling stuff, any kind of steel bending, I don't know how people can bend and bench at the same time. It's just it fatigues me. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, but well, everybody has like a different system, so maybe I don't know. You're different, I'm different. It depends
Yeah,
on the
that's
context, right?
that's very true.
Tim, and when you found out about Gripsport, which was like your first impression of the sport? Because basically we are doing like many different variations of short deadlifts, you could say. So, which was your opinion after you saw that there was a discipline and there were competitions all over, at least all over the U.S.?
I mean, it kind of blew my mind that there was as much going on with grip as there was. It was exciting, you know. Um, yeah,
So, Tim, I want to ask you as well about your achievements in grip. I know that you are really into hub lifting.
yes, that's my
After you were able to, let's say, have your first like classic plate of hub. I know that there are many type of plates. I don't know everyone all of them, but which has been like your favorite hub lifting or hub feat that you have done?
so my favorite hub lift is probably at least the one that I'm most proud of. Is Are you familiar with the Evil Hub from Craphold?
Yes, really like it's really narrow, really short
Yeah.
one.
So I did 50.5 pounds on that one. So I'm very proud on that one. And there was another plate. It's a 20 kilogram DP plate that has a very similar hub to the Evil Hub, and I hub lifted that one, and I was very proud of that one.
Awesome.
Super shallow.
Super shallow, I can imagine. And I know that you were like into car tearing as well. How did you discover like the car tearing? I don't know if it's part of grip sport, but many athletes into grip sport do car tearing. For example, Tim Butler.
That's who I actually found out about card tearing from, was from Tim Butler.
And how did you get into that? Like, how did you start it?
So I was actually asking Tim Butler for a lot of advice, and he sent me a lot of videos and was very helpful with helping me learn how to tear cards. So I started off with easier decks, and I would do about a half a deck at first, and then I slowly added more and more cards, and then eventually it was like 3/4 of a deck, and then it was eventually a full deck, and then I started trying harder decks, and at first it seemed impossible, but with more and more practice, it eventually happened, and then I started trying different tears I saw Tim do, because I wanted to do like vertical tears and tearing it in the box, doing the cellophane tears, uh, notching the decks. I mean, it was all just so interesting to me. You can take it so far, you know.
And which was the technique that you used when when you were learning when you started?
The technique.
I mean,
So
because
he,
in example, I do it like this. I grab the cards like this and then like this. But I've seen
yeah,
people doing
so
like this. So
So like, yeah, I actually have a deck right here. So I kind of
Excellent.
hold this, and then
Okay.
I almost do like a S shape where they kind of talk about the S shape, you know. And then
Yes.
this is like my forward hand, and this is the hand that I actually tear with.
Okay, I understand. Nice. Because I've seen other people using a technique like this. It's
Yes, yeah, that one's hard. I mean, I'm
that's
not
hard.
from with that technique too much. I mean, I've done easy decks like that, but I've never done any like harder decks that way.
Me neither. I've just used like this technique
That's
and
the thing I like.
actually I have never like turned a bicycle deck because that's what I think. I always say to people that the bicycle deck it's like maybe like doing the COC3 on grippers. It's like that's
Yeah,
the point that you can say like you are like good at card tiering, like
yeah,
from bicycle and upper.
yeah.
It's really good. And Tim, I am really curious. Speaking about like uh, your achievements, I don't see like so much thick bar on your training. Is there a reason for that?
Uh, it's just because my thick bar is my weakest grip lift in my opinion. It needs a lot of work. I've been putting the work in. I do thick bar once a week, so it's a little bit less than I do pinch twice a week. So it takes me a little bit longer to recover from, but it has been making progress recently again. So I mean, I've been posting on my stories some. I haven't been making as many posts on my actual Instagram though. So I mean,
I
I've
think
been doing it.
last year I have seen you like doing many rolling handles and it calls my attention. I was like, oh, rolling handles with Tim. He's doing everything right now. I mean, it's your content. Your content is really it's really interesting. I really like it. And
Thank
also, I have another question. Where are the grippers? Where are the grippers? Are you using them these days, or do you have them like on a side?
They're mostly on the side right now. There's just so many other things I'm training with right now that's kind of been on the back burner.
Okay, I understand. And
Still mess with them, but I'm not pushing it as hard as I can at the moment. But I'm
I
still
have
using.
I have seen you doing some blobs lately. I am
Yeah.
curious. Which was the first blob that you could try?
So the first blob, I actually had three blobs. So the first time I got blobs, it was three of them. And that was the first time I ever tried them. I had a half of a 40, a half of a 60, and a half of an 80. So I was able to do the half 40 and the half 60 right away. And then I actually got the 80 the same day, but it wasn't until I brought it home and then got it all chalked up. And I kept messing with it. And eventually I got this the first day.
Nice.
But it was hard. It was hard to say. I barely got it.
Yeah, the blobs are like well, I tried a blob the first time last year when I went to Alex's house for the
Yeah.
skillet hands contest because I've never tried a blob before. I mean, I had two like Chilean made replicas, but they are not the same as the iron. So last year I could try a blob and it was like, wow, I never lifted something like this. It's like you have to be in front of a blob and try it before you can say anything. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
nothing else.
I saw you have the 100 legacy now, so that was really cool seeing you lift that.
Whoa, for me it was like, dude, because well, I think the blob took like 3 or 4 months to be in my hands
Yeah,
since
so
Alex sent it to from the US to Chile. So it was
yeah,
like exciting.
yeah, that's very exciting.
So yes, I really like it. And so I want to move on into your workout, Tim. Well, how often do you work out these days, Tim?
I work out 6 days a week.
Do you have the like a Sunday rest?
It's actually Wednesdays are my break day normally.
Perfect. And how do you like mix your weightlifting workout with your grip training?
So every Saturday that's the day that I do thick bar. I do that and I do back. And then I have 2 days a week that are direct grip only, which is Thursdays and Sundays. Just grip. I don't do anything else. I do bench. So basically chest and shoulders I do on Fridays and Tuesdays. And then on Mondays I do vertical bar. So 2-inch vertical bar, little bighorn, miniature horn, like things like that. And then I do arms too. So I'll do like bicep, tricep work. I still do like pronation work, supination work. Yeah, and then Wednesdays, like I said, I break. I think that was every day of the week. I say everything. I sometimes do legs too, but that's also been neglected lately. Legs, yeah, they need some work.
And Tim, do you use like the same grip tools on the week, or do you mix all up and do whatever you feel like?
I kind of do whatever I feel like. I guess I got certain ones that I like more than others, but I do switch it up a lot.
And in your grip days, you said that you had like 2 grip only days. Do you mix the movements, or do you have like one day for pinch and one day for thick bar, or do you mix everything?
So on those days that's grip only, it's normally pinch. And then a lot of times I'll do different like grip feats and everything. Normally not direct thick bar. I just do strictly thick bar on Saturdays. So I don't really do any more thick bar besides that. So I'd say mostly pinch. I mean, pinch blocks, hub lifts, things like that.
And Tim, do you have like any crimp workout like this movement in any of your days? Because I have seen that when you try these like blocks for climbers, you do really well. And I see your lifts, and it's like, wow, Tim is really strong with these movements. He has strong fingers.
Well, thank you. I do use the stirrup sometimes. I like the half-inch side, and I have a tension block too that I like to use from Lattice.
Yes. So do you mix it like in your grip days, or did you have like
Yeah.
a past into climbing, like a secret past in climbing?
No, I've never done any climbing at all. It would
Ne-
be fun to mess around with it and try it someday, though.
I wanted to say you that maybe if you tried, you will be like really well prepared, considering that you are like 74 kilograms, like something like that, your current body weight.
Yeah, I'd say around there. I'm a little bit heavier than I was a couple months ago. In pounds, I'm around 170, 169, 170. So what is that in kilograms? Do you know off the top of your head? I
I actually don't know, but it must be like between 70 and 80 kilograms, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably around 75 kilograms or something.
Perfect. And Tim, well, I have seen in your Instagram that you are really into feats of strength. So,
Yes.
which feats are like in your radar these days? What would you like to accomplish?
I would really like to do the York shallow milled back, the shallow hubbed one. I'd
Yes,
like to do that for reps because I've only ever done it for one so far, and I want to do it for more than one.
nice.
That's my number one thing. I also really want to hit the Legacy 110 now. I just hit the 105 though for the first time like last month.
Is it too different like the 100 versus the 105? It's like too much thickness difference?
It is a little bit different in thickness. I notice it. I mean, other people might not notice as much as me, but I don't have that big of hands, so I notice it.
Nice. And any like double lift or any walk that you like to do? Like, I don't know. I have seen you like doing some fits outside, like in the garden.
Yeah. So that's actually a good idea. I haven't thought about it too much, but I think doing some different farmer walks with blobs, plate pinches with 35 pounders, not 45 pounders, different hubbles. I think that would be fun to add more of those into my training,
I am
or at least
curious.
for.
I am curious, Tim. Uh, have you already pinched 245s?
I've done it once in my life so far.
And was it like with your own plates or in another gym? How was it?
It was with my own plates.
And did you like do a special workout program to achieve it, or it was like, oh, today I feel really strong and I'm gonna do it? How was it?
So I wasn't really on any kind of program. I was messing around with them a bunch at that moment. So I'd say even maybe 6 weeks before that, I was just training it like crazy, just trying to do it. It kept tearing skin, but I kept going for it, and eventually I ended up getting it.
And these days, have you tried it, or do you know if you could like replicate
So
it?
yeah, I mean I even tried it today, and I couldn't do it today.
Eh,
I'm trying again because it's been I haven't done the plate pinch with the 45s. I think that was in late 2020, so it was a while ago now. But I
wow.
wasn't working towards that too much, so I would like to do it again this year, and I'd like to make it so I can keep consistently doing it, and then I can add that into different grip feats and everything. Because I mean that's a big deal. The 45s is a great lift in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like a milestone. It's a really a great feat. I'd like to do it in the future as well. These days I am training with the flask. Like it's I can do like between 30 and 40 kilograms in training. So that's a
Yeah,
really good tool for that pinch. I think so. Because
yeah,
and anyway, I have like just those blue calibrated plates of 20
yeah,
kilograms. I don't think I could budget today to lift them, but it's one of my goals in the future. So it's a really great milestone, that pinch.
yeah. I really hope you get it soon.
I hope so too. And Tim, since you are like, well, speaking about feats of strength, do you have like in mind in the future the goal to try the inch dumbbell and lift it?
So yes, I do actually. I actually made a purchase with Nathan Hull earlier this year, and my dumbbells are supposed to be here at the end of this month. So hopefully they actually come by then. I ordered a bunch of different sizes so I can work up to it, and like the inch would be my actual like life goal.
Wow, and
So it
can
takes
I
me
ask you which sizes did you buy?
I think it was a 30, 40, 45. I don't remember all the different sizes. They're mostly in between that, and then the inches. I got two of those ones. That was the heaviest one that I got because I don't need anything heavier than that. I mean, that's the big boys.
Yeah, but wow, really good news. And actually, I wanted to ask you, since you are like training in a high frequency for all these years, have you ever had any grip related injury?
Nothing that was very serious. On the tension block, one time I did the two finger pocket, which was with my middle finger and ring finger, and there was kind of a pop noise. That I could feel like throughout my middle, or I mean the ring finger that kind of went up through here. Uh, but it didn't take too long to recover from. I was pretty worried about it, but luckily it didn't take that long to recover from.
Okay, nice. And also, give me a second. Um I want to ask you, like for 2024, for the next year or the end of this year and next year, do you have anything in particular that you would like to achieve in your grip training?
I think kind of what I said earlier about the York shallow milled back for rim to hub catches for reps. I'd really like to do that within end of this year, early next year. I'd like to do the 110 York legacy blob. Um, I'd like to hit 25 kilograms on Evil Hub, but that might be a bit ambitious.
That's really hard. Has anyone done that lift before?
That
Anyone in
much
the
weight?
world? Yes.
No, nobody has. Because I think mine's in kilograms. I think it's 22.8 or 22.9, which is
Okay.
I think the most. It's the world record for. I mean, an unofficial lift on that one. I don't think anyone's done more than what I've done on that one.
Okay. Tim, before going into the questions from the audience, I have a couple of miscellaneous questions. I'd like to know, which is your favorite non-grip sport related activity?
Like physical activity.
Anything. It could be music or movies. I don't know.
So if I'm not doing anything that's active, like working out wise, I do like to watch anime and I do like to play a couple video games.
Nice. Which is your favorite anime?
Hunter x Hunter.
Nice. It's a really a classic. I think I watched like the first seasons because I could watch them on TV. It's really good.
Yeah, it's
I
great. I love.
I think my favorite anime. I don't know if you watched it because I am a little older, but Slam Dunk. Do you know it?
I've heard about it, but I haven't watched it.
It's the one about basketball. It's really deep into the 90s. It's really great. Or and as
That's
well, Dragon Ball. It's like the favorite of every kid. Like Dragon
yeah.
Ball is one that everyone saw.
Yep, it's a classic.
And well, I guess that you also saw the last anime that I watched like complete. It was Shingeki no Kyojin. Obviously, Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Hey, oh
That's
man, that's gotta be my second favorite.
that's really deep. I really like it as well. And I remember, not too related to grip sport, but I remember that you used to do some arm wrestling like back in the day. Not necessarily this year, but you used to be like into it. How was it?
It was a lot of fun. I did like messing around with it. I mean, I had a little bit of table time, just mostly in my garage. I had a couple different people come over. It was fun. I never did any competitions or nothing.
But you liked it like to do it like with your friends, but never into like with competition intentions.
Yeah, I never actually did like any competitions with it or anything. But
But
I've always liked it ever since high school.
were you good at it in high school?
Yeah.
Nice.
But the only thing the main reason I don't do it too much now is it just affects my other training and I like doing my best in the grip world right now and arm wrestling makes it hard to do it all.
Does it like interfere too much with the like pinching and grip in general?
Yeah, I think that arm wrestling it's hard for me to do good in arm wrestling and do good in grip. And especially bench. Like it would always like my tendons and everything were sore from arm wrestling training and bench would always just my elbows would hurt.
Oh, I understand. And how frequently are you like benching these days? Like two
Uh
times or three times?
2 times a week.
Okay, okay. Now we're back.
Okay, awesome.
Good to see you. Well, team, we have a couple of questions from the audience.
Okay.
There's a friend of mine, I think he's from Lithuania, Lucas. His Instagram is S Michael Sass, something like that. He would like to know, do you like training with high reps and high volume or low reps and low volume?
So normally lower reps, lower volume, but I do like to have 1 day a week. So, I said that I do 2 different straight grip days. One of the days I normally do higher reps and everything. So I do
Perfect.
like to do a mixture of both.
Nice. The second question of Lucas is, would you say it's better to have a pinch day or thick bar day or gripper day only, separated from each other, or mixing all together?
I like separating them. I mean, back then I wouldn't have, but I've done a lot of things different this year than even in the past. So I like separating them now.
Excellent. There are questions from another Chilean grip guy, Bruno,
Yes,
21
I know.
STPO. Of course. Shout out to Bruno again. Bruno wants to know which will be your top 3 grip tools from your collection.
So I really do like my York Legacy 100 Blob. Since I got that one, I've had a lot of fun training with it. I have a pair of the York Deep Dish 35-pound plates. I'm not sure if it counts as a grip thing because they're kind of just vintage plates, but I like using them for hub lifts because it's a hard one to hub, and I like using them for pinch because they're the deep dish ones. They're just like the 45s, but they're lighter, so I can actually do them. I really like training on the 2-inch Saxon bar too from Arm Assassins.
Nice. Really good grip tools. Actually, I am really curious about the Saxon bar. I'd love to try it someday. I don't have one yet, but
Yeah,
it
you
looks
get a
really
Saxon.
good. Which was your latest PR on the Saxon bar?
I hit 222, which is it's like 100 kilograms or just a tiny bit past. It's like 100, maybe 100.5 or something.
I want to make like a little comparison. I know that you have the Nightmare setup.
Yes.
Do you lift more on a regular Saxon bar or in the Napalm Nightmare blocks?
The napalm blocks.
And how much more can you lift in the napalm blocks?
So I actually just hit a PR on the 2-inch napalm blocks. I hit 238 point something. So what is that? That's like a maybe 15-pound difference or so.
Yeah, I see. Nice, because my Napalm Nightmare set it's on its way to Chile, so I'm
Yeah,
really curious to test it. I just
dude.
got like the thick bar set, not with the blocks yet.
Yes, they're awesome, man. You're gonna love them.
I hope to make like a really big lift on the 2-inch napalm. It's really
Which
a really interesting lift, I think.
is that? What you got as the 2x5?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
You got the 2-inch by 5-inch?
No, I just like the axle style, like the 2-inch like handles,
Oh,
and that's it.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, and I have seen like people doing like near to 400 pounds or something like that, and I'm
Yeah.
really curious, like where could I be? Because my axle bar, my best is 142 kilograms. That's like 350. I don't know, like something like that. So I'm really curious,
Oh,
how much can I lift on that? May Do you think that one can lift more in the Napalm Nightmare compared to the axle?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it depends on the person. Which axle bar are you lifting on? The Iron Mine?
No, it's a Chilean made axle bar.
It's 2-inch.
It's 2-inch, yes.
Oh man, that's a good question. It's hard to say which one you do better on. Maybe
But but,
the
but in
Napalm?
example, do you have the Iron Mind axle?
I don't.
I remember, or which axle do you have? It's from which brand?
It's like so. I think that Feats of Alex actually figured out where it's from, but I don't remember the company name off the top of my head. I always thought it was just like a custom made one. When you measure the diameter of it, I mean, it's about 2.42 inches, which is just like it's basically a like a 2 3/8, but it's just like a hair past. Um, so I guess if you compare that to my okay, so now that I'm actually thinking about it, the napalms I've done a lot more on. Now that I'm
Okay.
thinking about
Okay, and which is your best on the Napalm's Nightmare setup?
So the 2 3/8, I think I've done around 275 pounds.
Okay.
And then the axle, I've done like 255, I'm pretty sure. It was either 255 or 260. I don't remember if I've hit 260 yet.
Perfect. Well, the second question of Bruno. Which could be your top 3 favorite grip tools that you would like to acquire in the future?
In the future?
Yes.
Ooh, let's think. That's another good question. There's another blob that I'd really like to get, the Blob 50. I think that one would be really cool to get. Let's think.
Is it easy to buy blobs in Ohio?
It's a lot easier to get them. Yeah, I'd say Ohio is a lot easier than even some of the other states. Ohio, Pennsylvania area, there's a lot of York stuff.
Nice.
But as far as other implements, I think it'd be cool to get a 2-inch a 2-inch axle bar, one that's more, a little bit smaller. So maybe the Iron Mind one or a different company.
I think the Iron Man one must be like really expensive. They are like really they are pricey and they are increasing their prices every year. So it's like
like I used to think Iron Man was expensive, but then more time passed and they're even more expensive now.
Yeah. I remember when I bought my first Little Big Horn, it used to be like $70, and now I am not aware of how much it is to buy a Little Big Horn.
I'm sure it's probably $100 or more now. I don't know for sure.
It's crazy. I don't know why are they raising so much, but well, it is what it is.
The other implement I think would be cool would be the
Yes.
one that Armistessens released recently. I think Ben Helms, is that how you pronounce his last name? Helms?
I think so, yes. Ben, of course.
He got one recently. It's a Saxon bar of the ingot and vinget. So like are you familiar with it?
Of course, the ingot, it's like this, right?
Yeah.
Like a pinch like this.
I think that Saxon bar would be very fun to train on.
Actually, I have never tried a ingot or vinget. Those
No?
are two. Those are two different blocks, right? Like the ingot is one and the vinget it's another. Correct me if I'm wrong.
They're both on the same thing. So like I have the napalm's ingot, and then if you flip it around, then there's the vinget side. So it has 2 in 1.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it sounds really interesting. I don't know what will happen if I pinch something like this.
It's fun. It's different.
I can guess that you lift less weight on that. How many pounds less can you lift on a ingot or vinget versus a regular block?
I don't remember I have my book right here. Let me check because I don't remember the most I've done on it. So like the ingot. Wait, where's? Okay, so the ingot on the Napalm's Nightmare ingot, I've done 82.5 pounds. That's for one hand. And then the vinget, I 100.4 pounds. So I guess it depends on what size or which one you're comparing it to. But I'd say at least a 20-pound difference. It's at least that much harder.
Okay. Wow. It's 20 pounds are a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Well, I think you answered this to me before, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Bruno wants to know which hub lift makes you most proud of?
Yeah, so I do think it's the Evil Hub one I said earlier. Of the 50.5 pounds. The DP plate I'm really proud of, and then one that I didn't mention earlier, I did the deep dish Marcy plate. It has the bigger hub on it, or I should just say big hub. It's got a big hub on it. I've done 55 hub transfers with it, so switching back to forth. Honestly, it destroyed me cardiovascular wise. When I was pretty proud of that one. I don't think I'll ever try to even beat that one unless somebody else like does more than that.
I wanted to say, like, on a side note, which which of your hub lifts has been like the coolest I've seen recently, and it's the one with the bottle flip. It was really amazing.
Yeah,
I
you
really
like that
liked
one?
it. Yeah,
I
it was
always
really
think
cool.
different like hub feats and everything. I mean, I always got things going. Like I'm always thinking of things in my head, different feats that I can try. And I just had like a water bottle I was drinking out of, and I was like, you know, it'd be cool, like hub lifting and doing a water bottle flip on it.
It's really cool. I remember last year when I went to Alex's house, I witnessed a really cool hub lifting fit that was made between Chas and Tim Butler, and they
I'm
did
familiar
like
with
a two people, like
two person.
a team transfer.
Yeah, I would love to be part of that, and we could do like a 3, 4, 5 person one.
Yes, and I don't want to like miss any of the Bruno questions. Give me a second. Yes, Bruno. The last question from Bruno is, what do you think is the best feat of strength in grip ever
From anybody.
in the world,
Okay,
on
so
history?
I'm pretty sure I think it's very incredible that Carl certified the captain of crush number 4. I think his crushing grip strength is just absolutely amazing. But I mean, I'm not super familiar with super old grip lifts, but that's the one that's coming to my mind right now.
Nice.
I'd like to know which one do you think is?
Well, let me think about it. I wasn't prepared for this question, but let me think. Let me break it down like in categories. I think, well, you must be like more familiar into hub types than I am, but um, have you seen like these old plates that they are not like with a straight hub, like it's not like, but it has like a curve.
That's the like a York deep dish plate. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, I think if you grab a plate that it's really like shallow and with the curvy hub,
Yeah.
that's really hard. I think my coach, which is Sam Salomi, he has done
Yeah.
like curls with really hard hubs. That's really impressive because, I mean, doing a hub with like a York plates, like with the those which are really wide, that's really impressive to me. In
Yes.
terms of pinching, well, any pinch like 225 or 255 pound plates pinch, that's really a handful of people can do it. So
Yes.
it's really amazing to me. And well, uh, the inch dumbbell clean, it's like the top in my
Oh,
mind.
yeah.
Like it's a really hard one. Those are feats that I personally think that maybe if you chase them for years, even then you may not get the chance to do it.
Yeah,
So those
I
are
would
like
do that.
so those are like the most amazing to me. Like the feats that even if you chase it, you are not granted to make it. Because in example, if someone starts grip sport today, like being a teenager, and they can close like the number 1 gripper, they most likely will close the 2.5, and
Yeah.
that's not like really amazing these days. But
No.
if a teenager sees a number 4, they are not sure if they can make it, and that those fits are amazing to me.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, those some of those like the Captain of Crush 4 is just absolutely crazy. I don't know how people can move that thing.
Yeah, That it's a thing of time, on strength, technique, preparation, and well, hand size as well. Not all hands
Yeah.
are equal, and maybe some hands are not like meant to close big grippers, and much less like it's really less likely to for small-handed people to close it like with the credit card. I have seen people love the credit card. I don't know why. Don't. I am not really a big fan of the credit card set, but people
Yeah,
really like it, and it's really like restrictive, I think.
I like doing deeper sets with them. So
Yes. Well, here is a good question from another famous grip guy, Zach Mullins, the Blob
yes.
Zombie. So this one is a kind of explicit, but it's in a really friendly tone, I must say.
Okay.
He wants to know, when will you do your first competitions? Since you have been recording feats for years, you have one of the best collections ever, and you are very strong for your body weight. So he says, when are you going to make your debuts?
Oh
and,
man.
and before you answer, that was one of my questions too. I think I asked you in the past, when will you compete, or will you compete on this thing? And also, Ben Helms asked the same question. So we want to know, when will you compete?
Man, if people are asking about it, I feel like I should make it happen sooner than later. You know, it's one of those things that I just kind of put it on the back burner. I've been having a lot of fun just training in the garage, and I haven't really thought too much about the competitions, but I think I need to make it happen soon.
Yes, I
Do it.
actually was talking to Ben and Zach because they are having heavy hands. Like I think it's next week. So it was like, hey guys, maybe team can make it, but well, we are really near to the competition, and well, we have to work. I can completely understand, but there are many competitions in the future, like King
There is a lot of,
Kong or the arm lifting. I don't know.
I find it a little bit hard to find out when and where all the competitions are happening.
I understand, but since you are in Ohio, I think do you know Jason Dingy? I think
Yeah,
he can
he
have
had
like competitions sometimes in the year, maybe.
yeah, he had something going on just a couple weekends ago or so.
Yes, Zach went to that competition, and I think he did really. I don't know if he did well or not, but I saw that there was a competition there,
Yes.
and maybe in the future you can have your own competition with the implements that you personally like. So, in
That'd
example,
be
I wanted to tell you that I am making a competition in December here in
all
Chile,
right.
and I wanted to tell you what will I include. I will have grippers, like 20 millimeter block set.
Yes.
I will have the Napalm's Nightmare, 2-inch, like thick bar style.
Hmm.
I will have the flask, and I will have the finish ball.
Awesome.
So, if you had to do a competition team, what would you like to include? Like the team Livingston Classic.
Man, see, I would probably want my competition to be a lot of things that other people wouldn't like, though. I think it'd be fun to put the things that I think that I'm good at.
Okay.
I would like to put Evil Hub in it. I would like to put Napalm's Nightmare, the 2-inch pinch.
Okay.
Uh, let's see. I'm looking at my grip ball right now. Uh, the Logan lift, also from Crab Hold, would be a fun one to put in. Uh, a 2-inch vertical bar would be cool too.
By the way, which is your best vertical bar lift these days?
So I've improved my vertical bar a lot this year versus any other year of training. Uh, I think on the 2-inch one, I've hit around I don't remember the exact number, 215, 217. I think it was like 217.
Okay.
So I'm super close to 100 kilograms. That's actually my goal.
Nice.
And then on Little Bighorn, I just recently hit 172 or 173.
Good. And is there any particular reason that called your attention to do the vertical bar lifts?
So one of the main reasons, so this actually, I should have mentioned this earlier, that I didn't want to do a grip competition before was because I thought a lot of the main lifts, the main grip lifts that are in competitions, I'm not that good at. So I'm like, well, I need to start getting better at something else, like besides what I'm doing. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna train vertical bar, very consistent. I'm gonna try to improve it, and that's what I did with vertical bar. Like I said, the thick bar is still slacking a little bit. It's not the best, but vertical bar has made a lot of progress this year.
Perfect. Team, and there's a final question from the audience. This one comes from Ben Helms. And Ben wants to know what motivated you to start doing hub tricks?
So, I mean, hub lifts were one of the very early things I was training. I think what really helped me motivate me to do more was after I got the Marcy plate. It has such a big hub on it. It's a great plate to do different hub feats on. So that really motivated me to try a lot of different crazy things that I would never thought was possible. And then what's cool about doing it on that is if I can do it on that, I can slowly work towards other plates like the shallow York milled back and any other plate that I can try to do things on. So it's a great one to at least start a hub feat with, something new. And then you can branch off from there, you know?
Perfect. And let me check. Have you met other grip guys close to your area, like in Ohio?
Yes, I have. Anthony, his last name starts with a V. I forget exactly what his last name is. I used to train with him every so often. He got more into arm wrestling, though. I think he still does some grip, but he does a lot more arm wrestling than grip now.
And have you considered? I don't know if Jason Dingy lives so far away from Toledo,
I
but
know where he
but
lives farthest part of Ohio from me. But where are you gonna go with it though?
I wanted to go like. Have you considered to do a training with his team and meet another group guys like in your state? Because in example here in Chile, there's Bruno. He lives in a city like it's like maybe an hour from my house, and there's me, and I am doing like some trainings to have people touching the implements and closing the grippers and trying for the first time and like getting them into the discipline, like into the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And then there's people from the north of Chile, and that's like going to, I don't know, like from your house to California. It's like far away, and to the south is like going from your house to, I don't know, New Scotland, like the other coast. So we have no chance to meet each other.
Yeah.
So you have Jason in your state. So have you ever considered going to a training or to a tournament with that team?
I would definitely love to. But like he lives about 4 hours from me though, so it's not super
Oh,
close. It's the
it's a
same
lot.
state, about a 4 hour drive. He lives in the farthest part of Ohio from me.
Oh, I understand that. Well,
But it still would be a lot of fun. It'd be very cool to make a weekend trip out of it or something.
perfect. Well, Tim, the last words of the interview belongs to you. Is there any message that you would like to share with the audience, or any advice for novices? Anything that you like to say to close the interview?
So if you're like a beginner in the sport or you want to get into it, you should definitely reach out to all of the grip community. I mean, you can get very far, learn so much about the sport, and it's such a great community. I mean, everybody is so nice, and that's one of the things I like about grip sport the most is how nice everybody is. Like in powerlifting community, there's a lot of people that just they're not the nicest. And it's like that in bodybuilding and everything too. There's just too many people judging each other and just being straight up mean. But in the grip world, I just love how basically nice everybody is.
Perfect. Well, Tim, I want to thank you for your time. It was a
Yeah,
really great interview. We had a great time chatting with you, like for a longer time than the compared to the last time. So it was really good to have you.